Hi everyone, Brandon Music, candidate for treasurer. I'm here today to tell you about a few of the issues that I feel important and that if you get to know them would help you to consider voting for me. One of the things that I would like to do as treasurer and working with the rest of the SBA Senate and the executive officers is to streamline the budgeting process. Now what I mean by that is that, as everyone knows right now, you have to submit your budget Friday before the meeting that will occur the next Wednesday, and then you're essentially tabled for 2 weeks. So if you submit it on that Friday, what will eventually happen is you'll wait at least 2.5 weeks before you'll even have a chance to come up for a vote up or down on your proposal. And what I suggest and what I fundamentally believe that will make it easier on senators to thoroughly review requests and decide whether or not they will vote on it and what kind of questions they want to ask you, and will allow for you to get the money quicker, because in some situations if you get it in a little too early, you could be waiting as much as 1 month before you would get your money. So what I propose is to change the deadline from the Friday before our certain Wednesday's meeting till 1 week before, i.e. at current times the Wednesday before. That way it gets sent out to the senators and they have an opportunity for 1 week to review it, think of all the questions they ask, and then in that meeting I would encourage to have an up or down vote. That way you will get your money quicker. SBA will still have a chance to thoroughly review it and make a good funding decision. So that's one of the things that I would like to do. I would also like to have it to where more explicit, and this will help, more explicit goals for the program and things like that, meaning on the sheet that you would put forth and send to the SBA, and if I'm elected treasurer, which you would essentially put in my mailbox, would come with the stated goals of the project or the speaker or whatever the program that yours is doing. That way we get a better understanding of exactly what your program is trying to capture, which going with the goals of SBA to make sure we get programs that benefit us professionally or socially. That way we have a better understanding of how your program sort of encompasses the overall goals of SGA as an organization of the student body. And it wouldn't be anything too long. It's not 100 pages that you would have to do or anything like that. It would just essentially be, a couple things. A goal, in which usually for most of the programs that you will do, you'll already sort of have in your head, and you may have even written it out based on what you want the program to accomplish. So relaying that information to us, it'll help us to better make decisions that will benefit the entire student body. And it can also be beneficial to you in the sense that besides just having to do more work, you also get a chance to share your ideas more on paper instead of just in person at the SBA meetings. And that way there's not this potential for miscommunication or misunderstanding if people don't, because let's be frank, if I go in front of SBA sometimes, I don't as clearly state some things as I could in terms of goals of the program as I may be able to do in writing. So it gives us this double way, it sort of gives us 2 ways for you to understand exactly what it is you're coming to SBA for, through writing and through actually coming to the Senate meeting. And that way we'll clear up any confusions and we'll be able to thoroughly more understand your program, which will help us both out in the long run. And the second thing I will quickly like to talk about is exactly what I see funding for SBA coming to. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, and the biggest thing is that the funding that SBA does is for programming that benefits the student body professionally or socially. So some of the programs I believe we should place special emphasis on are the ones that will benefit us professionally, like if we have speakers come here and they have sort of an educational component to what they do, or professional conferences that groups such as the Democratic Law Society or BOSA will send their members to in order to educate them in that particular area of law that they're interested in. And in terms of the professionalism emphasis of the school, that's one of the reasons why it's in the SBA Constitution and their meeting procedures. And two is the social aspect of it, because let's face it, there's not much to do when you're undie. So the monies that we collect through the student activity fees, have to keep that as a focus, because one of the things you need to do in order to be successful in law school is you can't just hone in and completely 24/7 focus on your studies and things like that. You do have to have this kind of almost cathartic kind of release in terms of social programs to sort of keep you on an even keel, and that's one of the things that the SBA Constitution focused on, and that they're trying to push forth, and the things that they do fund. So I think that that's one of the things we do need to keep in mind, and those kind of programmings really do help the student body. And also, it's one of the things made clear by ASL policy and in the SBA Constitution is that these kind of programs have to be open to the entire student body, so we can't really discriminate on the basis of race, gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, and so on and so forth. So that's one of the things that I really think is important, and that we need to keep in mind, and that'll share with you some of my thoughts for SBA on the issues and sort of the philosophy behind what we do as SBA in terms of funding organizations. I hope you appreciate this attempt at a video biography of me on the issues and my positions. It may not look too good because it's a personal web camera, so I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to stop me in the hall, email me, and it's listed in this tween posting. And thank you all. I encourage you to vote for me March 4th and 5th of next week. Thank you. Good luck on finals. Happy spring break, and God bless you.